Well, hello and welcome to Ask the Doctor. My name is Jerry McGee and I'll be the host for today's show. We're here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at Wellness Associates with Dr. Eugene Goldberg. Dr. Goldberg, thank you very much for your time as always. Doc, on today's episode, we want to talk about this thing that people are hearing about called a neuropathy.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a lot of things out there. I'd like to discuss in our video today the differences also between just a standard neuropathy and a diabetic neuropathy, things like that, and kind of what are some of the causes, what are some treatment plans, and how chiropractic can impact it.
See, we see like peripheral neuropathy, like pain, pins and needles, numbness or burning in the lower extremity, the upper extremity, and we can help it because we work with the nervous system. That if you have a pain, pins and needles, numbness or burning, that's a pinched nerve. That's what we treat. Now, of course, diabetic neuropathy is a little bit different. The reason they have neuropathy is because the sugar's on the nerve and they need to treat their diabetes. Now, we can treat diabetes with nutrition. A lot of people don't know there's a nutritional component to diabetes. Like, for instance, we work with vanadium. Vanadium is actually a natural insulin, okay? Also chromium. Chromium is the glucose tolerance factor. So, you know, the patient loses weight, the patient exercises, the patient gets on the nutrition, gets off the cookies, cake, ice cream, candy, Pepsi, Coke, pies, and pastries. Also, I'm recommending if somebody's a diabetic, do not take NutraSweet. Do not take artificial sweeteners because that causes diabetic neuropathy. It's a nerve toxin, okay? So maybe their doctor's telling them it's okay to have NutraSweet. We're saying it's not okay to have NutraSweet, okay? So if you give them the nutrition, you do the chiropractic, you change your diet, you exercise, you lose weight, that helps neuropathy.
And I think, and let's talk a little bit about this whole concept of nutrition. I think a lot of people just don't understand it. They don't get the correlation between what I put into my body, how that can impact a nerve, or in this case neuropathies. They don't grasp that concept. One, because they've never gone to a doctor who really has said, let's look at your nutrition.
My understanding, Jerry, I'll just tell you this, if this is true, and I think it is, it's based on medical research, 50% of all diseases now are caused from sugar. Because when you become a diabetic, automatically, if you've heard this, Jerry, automatically you have a cardiovascular problem. That's how serious diabetes is. So it behooves you to get off the sugar and to get your sugar under control by your diet, exercise, chromium, vanadium, okay? So therefore, 50% of all diseases are caused from sugar, including diabetes. So get off the sugar, okay?
And I think, when we talk, a lot of times, people will say things like, well, my parents were diabetics, so I'm automatically diabetic.
That's not true.
Right, but we always kind of, we always talk about this whole genetic thing and how, you're just predisposed to it, but it's really the decisions that you make in your life that bring those things out.
That's so true, because my mother was a diabetic, and I saw her eat Hershey Kisses every night, so I don't want to be, I'm not a diabetic, I don't want to be like her. Now see, the genetics, we have the same genetics. See, your genetics is the loaded gun, your lifestyle pulls the trigger. See, my lifestyle is, I don't eat the sugar, okay, I exercise, okay, I get an adjustment. See, there's a connection between getting T7 adjusted in your back and the pancreas. Okay, so if you have diabetic neuropathy, get an adjustment, change your diet, exercise, lose weight, get on chromium, get on vanadium. Get off the sugar, get off the desserts. To me, you can have candy, Jerry. You can have blueberries. I had blueberries this morning, Jerry. Did you ever hear of God's candy? God's candy is blueberries. Yeah. It's naturally sweet. I don't need cookies.
Yeah, I think, when we look at these problems, we've just kind of always gone down the same path. We've always treated everything the same way. Oh, I'm diabetic. I'm going to be, stuck on, on this, the way it is the rest of my life. I'm going to progress to where I need insulin. They automatically think they have to go there when they really don't.
That's just a belief. Just because it's a belief doesn't mean it's reality. Just because your parents were sick, if you do the same lifestyle and habits that they did and eat the same diet, yeah, you'll probably go there because you're pulling the trigger. But I don't do what my mother did, and I'm not a diabetic, so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think it really gets down to the concept of, that we have the opportunity in this great country to make the decisions that can impact us. We really have nobody else to blame but ourselves. We make those decisions.
Your health is actually your choice, okay? That health is not a chance. People may think that your health is a chance. Health is not a chance. Health is your choice. It's your health, your choice.
And I, one of the things I love watching, I'm big in talk radio and all that kind of stuff, and the other day I was actually watching I was watching Imus in the morning, and he was talking about this problem of obesity in our country and how their philosophy was why does my healthcare costs and everything that I'm paying into, why do I have to pay for the poor decisions that a lot of people are making? Why should I be penalized for making the right choices, but I have to pay for people making the wrong choices? And that's an interesting concept.
That's the 64 question that we need to answer. That people, my answer, if I would try to answer that, would be we need to be responsible for our own health.
Right.
And we have to have a responsibility that you're responsible for everything you put in your mouth, and there's a relationship between what you put in your mouth, your diet, your nutrition, and your health. What a concept. The people know there's a relationship between what you put in your body, you're responsible for, and therefore you're responsible for your own health. And don't expect some drug to suppress a symptom of a disease when it doesn't really correct the disease.
Yeah.
So that's my answer.
Yeah, I mean, and that is a debate that can go on and on about how, the whole healthcare cost is purely because we've got a lot of people making bad decisions, and just not understanding the importance. And we always talk about this whole team approach to healthcare and how, you can have this. And really, when you take a look at your healthcare plan, you could have a plan that is bare minimal cost, jack up your deductible to go to the hospital, because if you're healthy and you're doing things right, you're not going to be there anyway.
But that's how I am. That's how I am. See, I have a choice, Jerry. I can give my money to my grocer, or I can give my money to my medical doctor. What do you think I've been doing?
Yeah.
That's what I do. I give my money to my grocer, okay, and I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
Okay? That's my health care, is my diet, my lifestyle, my nutrition, and my structure. I've been chiropractic for 39 years. I have a pretty good diet. I do nutritional supplements. Because in the last 25 years, Jerry, we lost 50% of our antioxidants. So you take a piece of chicken on a bagel, there's no phytonutrients, there's no antioxidant. That's what we need in the American diet. Yeah. See, the standard American diet, Jerry, what does it stand for? It's an acronym. SAD. The standard American diet is SAD. So you have to almost supplement. You have to make changes in your diet. You can't just eat the way you ate 25 years ago, because you're not getting the antioxidants, you're not getting the phytonutrients. Therefore, it's going to affect your health.
Right. It's always amazing when people look at their healthcare plans and they're making adjustments. They're always worried about, well, what's my copay on the drug program?
Right.
And really, we shouldn't even be thinking about that.
I don't.
That should not be your first kind of question. Is what's the copay on the drug program? Because if you're doing things correctly, like you're talking about, the drugs don't have an impact on your body. You don't need them. And that's, we can get off on a soapbox on this whole thing, because we kind of, you and I both have a similar philosophy on this approach, but it's, people need to have this approach to their health.
See, I have health, Jerry, but I don't take any drugs, so therefore the theory is the more drugs you take, that's health care, the better your health. So how is it that me, I guess the exception ends the rule, I don't take any drugs, but I'm in radiant health. Yeah. So maybe we have to question the whole system.
Yeah.
Okay?
I know we've talked about in past videos where it's disease care, not health care.
That's exactly right. We do health care.
Yeah. And that really, I think that's an important concept to grasp in this thing. If you think about it, the only time you really use your health care plan is when you've got these problems, you're going to a medical doctor, you're getting another medication on top of the other medications that you're taking, and you never really get healthy. You almost start this downward spiral. It all starts, people say, well, I don't want to go to the doctor because they're going to put me on a medication and things. Well, you know what? If you don't want to do that system, there is a better way. Okay, there is a better way. It's chiropractic care. It's practicing preventative medicine.
Diet, nutrition, supplementation, exercise, your lifestyle. Are you smoking? Are you drinking? Are you taking drugs? If you're smoking and drinking, don't expect health.
Yeah. I probably the two most important people on your team should be a chiropractor, nutritionist.
That's what I do.
You're right. That whole concept. I think if that's where you'll start when you look at these problems, and the correlation between nutrition and a lot of these problems is unbelievable. And you really need to understand that concept. And it doesn't matter what position you're in today or what is ground zero for you today. It's never too late to start making small. And one of the things that I always stress to people, Doc, is not to make radical changes. Okay, because a radical change,
you can't do it.
They're not going to keep it up. But if they'll start with some basic changes, and the first one ought to be, I'm going to come down, I'm going to call Dr. Goldberg, come down for a new patient-free evaluation, and just kind of get a grasp on what this concept is. That's a great first step, simple step to do. Then look at implementing some of the things that you're going to discuss. Making small little nutritional changes. Progressing, as you go. And that's how the only way people are going to have success. is in almost taking those baby steps. You know, people all of a sudden will wake up and they'll say they have this aha moment, and today's like a radical change. I'm going to go from doing this to this, and it lasts like, you know, a week if that, and they're right back to normal. So, you know, I know when they come down, you're going to talk about making those little steps, those little changes, and you can do it at whatever speed works for you. I think that's the key.
My comment is, I think truth is simple. Like, there's Jamie Oliver. He's trying to go into the school districts in West Virginia, and he's trying to get carrots and celery. And it's a gradual thing, but see, I think it's really simple. It's like you have a pizza and a hamburger, and you can have a salad and fruit. It's your choice of what you want to do. You got to start somewhere. Be gradual with it. You know, have a piece of fruit for lunch instead of a dessert.
Well, I think, you know, when you talk about that Jamie Oliver show and all that, the shows that we're starting to see finally,
revolutionary,
you know, are really. I mean, I don't know if people understand the impact these things can have.
It starts somewhere.
Right. And that's, you know, one of the things is, as we were talking, you know, way back when we first got this started, you know, one of our goals with this whole Ask the Doctor concept was that we wanted this to be that kind of revolutionary thing in our own scale. Okay? You know, and be able to get the word out to people. And we hope that everybody watching this video and watching any of our shows, if you know people that are dealing with these problems or are just kind of down and not feeling well, let them know about, you know, AskDrGoldberg.com. Send them to this site. Let them check out some of these videos. Pass the word, because, you know, I think this is, you know, it got to be that one person at a time movement.
That's how it starts.
You know, and if we all start just sharing it with one person at a time, and they share it, before you know it, we're going to have a healthier, you know, environment here. We're going to have, you know, we're going to get things done. We're going to all feel better, and we can take somebody with you. So if you're, you know, interested in getting started with this program, pick up the phone, call Dr. Goldberg, come down, experience what Wellness Associates has to offer, kind of get your feet in the door, kind of just see what, you know, get started. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, if you get started, you'll be amazed at, you know, where you can go. So, you know, with that, I know we kind of went off on some tangents, but, you know, as you could tell, Dr. Goldberg is very passionate about, you know, his philosophies on healthcare and the impact it can have on you. And we just encourage you to come down and give him a chance. You know, give him that shot to explain to you what he can do. I think you'll be amazed at the results. So thank you very much for watching. We love bringing these shows to you. We hope you'll check back often for some of the great new episodes we have coming up. Also, go back and look at some of the older episodes. There's some things maybe you missed that might be impacting you. So be sure to check all those out. And just thanks for spending some time with us. And we look forward to seeing you on future episodes.